Okay, we live, and Brenda Alderman is here. I hope I pronounced your last name right.
Edelman.
Adelman. Oh, okay. All right, go. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brenda Adelman. I'm so excited to be here. Do you want me to just share a little bit about my one woman show or something like that?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. I have a critically acclaimed one woman show called My Brooklyn Hamlet about the power of forgiveness. I'll just say briefly what it is. Let's see. I grew up in Brooklyn with a Jewish wannabe Italian father who taught me how to drive a Cadillac at 6 and how to shoot a gun at 10. A bohemian artist mom that took me traveling with her all over the world and read Shakespeare to me from the time I was 3 years old as a bedtime story. Big characters, big laughs, big love. And then in 1995, my father, who I adored, shot and killed my mother, who was my best friend, and within months moved in with and then married her sister, my aunt. And my show, my life's work, is about the power of forgiveness and also helping other people tell their stories so that their audiences know they are not alone, because that was the worst part of it. I am a life coach. I'm a digital course creator. I teach other people, entrepreneurs and performers, how to tell their story powerfully, how to heal from their stories, and how to make a business from it.
Oh, great. Okay, so if someone is um interested in like doing a one person show, what is the process? Because you have an idea, but you don't know where to start.
Exactly. That's a great question. I did want to mention a lot of what I learned. I did take top acting classes in LA and New York. I was an actress before this tragedy happened, but I performed my show for over 12,000 people in 4 countries and 10 states. So I also learned what works, doesn't work, as far as like emotionally. How do you share something so powerful and something that you've lived through that was devastating, but within the right amount of emotion so that you heal and that you help your audience? Most people say, well, what story do I share? How do I find that story? I've lived through so much. And so I have a process that I teach that basically is looking at the top events that have happened in your life. And they can't be events that don't have any juice with them. They have to be events that really emotionally something happened for you. It doesn't have to be traumatic. It could be an amazing love affair, a travel that you did, or it could be devastating loss. I've been teaching storytelling now. I've probably taught over 150 people how to tell their stories, at least. And that's not just that's not even digital training. That's live or virtual live. And I've learned that people have lived through really devastating things. So you take several of those events and then you look at a through line and what's the message underneath it. Like one person could look at something that happened in their life or a couple of things and say, I've been abandoned. Someone else might say, I've been betrayed. So that's the kind of nuanced work so that you know what stories to focus on based on the through line and that message.
Oh, okay. Wow, that was a lot. But it seems like it seems like you you start big and then you just edit, to make it, like a nice length of size or whatever.
Well, actually, I wouldn't suggest just writing, because I've done that, and I know a lot of people have done that, and they go off for years in the wrong direction. That's why it's really important to find which stories you should start with. Not that that's the story you'll end with. It might be that there's a time of exploration, but so that you're not writing in the wrong direction in something that won't actually interest anybody or help you heal.
Oh, okay. Now, when you say healing, what do you mean by healing?
Okay, wow. Okay, good question. So healing. So for example, my father shot my mother in the head and killed her.
Mm.
That was not a story I wanted to share. I instead, like the normal reaction for those, for people is to squash it and to be like, I'm not going to tell anyone. There's secrets, there's doubt, there's guilt, there's all this stuff in the world. That's what we're taught. We're taught to compartmentalize and not tell people things. My healing started when I had that inner voice that was like, you must tell your story. You must stop hiding, because when we're hiding, and I was hiding, oftentimes we're isolating ourselves. We are not living fully. We're not having joy. We're acting out. We're having addictions, things like that. And when I listened to that inner voice, which really was like spirit, God, presence, whatever it is, something I didn't know before, that was just a voice within that was like, you must tell your story. I was already in a top acting class in Los Angeles, and I requested to do a storytelling exercise. And when I did, in sharing it, and I was sharing it in a creative way, it was about being real with your story, there was this burden that got like that. I no longer felt this secretiveness, especially because I was doing it in a very creative way. I wasn't just plopping it out. And so there were people that came up to me and were like, oh my God, what happened to you made me think about how I didn't let go of this person or that. And so it was healing for them. But then the other aspect of what I do is, and I think this is so healing, it's not just writing your story, but I jump into like 10 different characters. I jump into the enemy, my father. I play him. So if as an actor, you cannot play yourself as evil, like, because people don't think of themselves as evil. So in jumping into the character of my father and being true to him, I saw him more well-rounded, not just as this person who did this, and that was healing for me. So that's one example.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think people will understand what you were saying, but just a little research would give them a more definite attitude for each person, because I think it's different for each person.
Right, like see their foot. Like for example, the person you might think of as your enemy, just taking one moment to look at maybe how did they grow up? Did they get the love they need? I'm not ever saying condone. I'm not ever saying forget what they did or be walked all over or trust them again. But I'm saying look into, for lack of better words, like their records, like what was their childhood like, so that you can have a little bit of compassion, so that you can let go of the hardness in your heart. You don't even have to change anything with them. So it's healing, because like when I forgave my dad, I also took him to court for wrongful death. So I didn't say, okay, no boundaries and just walk all over me and don't show remorse, and that's okay. I took him to court for wrongful death. But in forgiving him, it really was letting go of that energy inside of me that had to keep punishing myself and go back and forth between I love him, I hate him, I love him. It's like, nope, let me just take this energy that he's no longer hurting me with and heal it, apply loving to those parts inside me that hurt, so that when I even think about him, I am not angry anymore,
Okay. All right. Tell us about your Facebook group.
Okay, I have a great Facebook group with Spencer. Spencer, you're in there.
Yes. Cool. I'm trying to build up.
Great. It's now, it's a great time because I'm doing a lot of extra things in there, offering extra things in there. So it's a free group right now. New name is booked and impactful, booked and paid impactful storytellers, because all of the people that I work with really want to make an impact in the world. The URL, because this was the old name, is it's facebook.com/groups Becoming Unforgettable Club, because it is about becoming unforgettable. You're telling your story, you're speaking so that you can reach more people. And then I do also have a free opt-in that is tell your story, heal your life, create more wealth, which gives 7 different ways to tell your story, to share your story, for healing, to be on purpose, to make money. And that is forgivenessandfreedom.com/free training. Forgiveness, AND, freedom.com/free training. And that's a 3-part video series. Free.
Okay, great. Yeah. So, is your club, is your group public or is it private?
It's private in that you must.
Facebook group. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's a free group, but it's private in that you have to apply to get in. There's just like 3 questions, and I just want to find out, who's there. It's a very sacred space because I don't let just anyone in, because Facebook has a million different people. So it's about people who really want to tell their story. It's for people who want to tell their story. Did you freeze? It looks like one of us is frozen, but I'm not sure who. So hopefully that came out. I'll stay here for a minute in case we come back. Let me chat for a second. I guess it was, I don't know. He just popped out and here I am. So
Oh,
I'm going to, oh, there
yeah,
you are.
yeah. I'm sorry, something happened. I don't know what happened. It just started doing a little circle thing. So
That's okay. I
my
stayed on.
yeah, I'm getting to my last question. So I asked, was the group private or public?
Yeah, so the group is private
Mhm.
because I like to create a very sacred space. So even though there are a lot of people in there, I want to know everybody is a real profile and they're working on their stories.
Okay, great. Tell us about your book on Amazon.
Oh, my book is My Father Killed My Mother and Married My Aunt, Forgiving the Unforgivable. It is part memoir and part my 3-step proven forgiveness process. I do have, I'm the recipient of the Hero of Forgiveness Award from the Hawaii International Forgiveness Project. And before I started teaching storytelling, the power of storytelling, I was a life coach specializing on forgiveness before that.
Okay, great. It was Brenda. It was so great to talk with you, and I'm definitely going to try to move up with my what is it called? Get a I don't know, just build up to try to do more. So I could do a one man show or whatever.
Great. If you want to do a one-man show, it's what I love about the one-man show, right? Because I teach the one-person show and I also teach TED style talks and talks for networking. What's wonderful about the one-man show is there's a level of creativity that you can infuse, although we do have that in the TED style talks too, but there's also a whole nother arena of how you can earn money and have an income doing a one-man show as well.
Oh, great. I definitely check into that. And again, Brenda, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.